So a warm greeting to all. In last video we have discussed about the introduction on the Z transform, and we have seen the mathematical expression for Z transform, and we have related the Z transform with the Laplace transform. So with that continuation we are going to discuss now with the properties of Z transform. So we are having so many properties in Z transform, but now we are going to discuss mainly about the mandatory properties required for solving numerical problems as per the Anna University syllabus. So the very first thing is the linearity property, and we all know the linearity in the sense if you are going to do any additions or multiplication on the input side, it should not affect the output at the output side. So here we are having, so if you are having two signals x1 of n and x2 of n, so now if you are going to apply Z transform, the output would be of x1 of z, capital X1 of z, and x2 of z. And the linearity property says that we are having a scaling of x1 of n and also x2 of n, and we are adding these two, and it should not affect the output. So here too we are having this a1 x1 of z plus a2 x2 of z. So this is what the linearity property. Now we are going to prove this linearity property. Now we can take this left hand side as the input, that is x of n, a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n. So this is the general formula for Z transform, and you can replace this x of n. And after replacing one, here a1 and a2 are constant, so we can take this out of the summation block, and here we are having x1 of n into z power minus n. Like here too we are having x2 of n into z power minus n, and you can this is also looking like a general form. So all the thing what we improve, all the thing what we are going to do is we are going to trying to make all the terms, all the steps like the general form. So this is what we are going to do in all the proofs of the properties. Okay, so here too what we are making is, in order to convert all the steps like this general formula, we have removed the constants. So we are taking the scaling out of the summation block. Okay, so here now we can, it is looking like this general formula. Here we are having, here instead of x we are having x1, so we can write as x1 of z, and here x2 of z. So if we are having x, we can write it as x of z, but here we are having x1, so we can write this x1 of z and x2 of z. So now we have proved. So this is what this is how we are going to make a proof for all the properties. So the thing is, we are going to trying to convert all, we trying to simplify all the steps for getting the generalized equation from this those steps. Okay, so now we'll see second property, that is time shifting property. Shift in the sense we can do either we can advance the signal or we can delay the signal, but here we are having the advancement in the signal, so that we are having minus k. So if you want to do a delay of this signal x of n, and we can represent that by x of n plus k. So minus for advancement and plus for delay of the signal. So here we are having the formula is z power minus k into x of z. So for x of n we are having x of z. For shifting in this signal, here we are converting that in z domain as z power minus k. Here we are having minus k, so that we are having power of minus k. You suppose if you are going to have plus k, there too we will be we are going to write it as z power plus k. So you can check by your own for making this signal for delay. Okay, so now we'll prove this one. So we can take this x of n minus k as one variable, that is y of n. So general formula is this is a Z transform. So now we can replace y of n as x of n minus k. So here we are having two independent variables. Okay, so now we are going to convert this to a single independent variable, that is m. We can write it as n minus k. So now you can replace all this n minus k or n by m. Okay, so n minus k will be get converted into m, and minus m, so n, so n we can write it as m plus k. But here you can observe that here in summation we are not having k, we are having only m. So we are just replacing n, but the value of n would be m plus k. but here not having the value of k, because the input signal x is having dependency only on m. It is not having any function related with k. So we need not to consider, we need not to bother about the presence of k at the summation. So you can remove that summation of k. So here we have removed. Okay, and now we can split this z power minus m and z power minus k. So now here again we are having the function of x of m and z power minus m. So this is looking like the general formula for z transform. So you can take this extra z power minus k outside. So now we can write this as x of z. So now we have proved the time shifting property. So the third one is scaling property. Again we are going to add some multiplication with the input signal. So here we are having a power n. So for the output is z divided by a. If you are having the a power n in the numerator, here we will be getting the same value at the denominator. Okay, so again you can take this left hand side as the y of n, that's input, and this general formula, and you can replace y of n by a power n x of n. And again the thing is we have to try to convert, or we can simplify further in order to get this generalized form. Okay, and here we are having x of n. So another thing we have to do is only we have the z power of minus n. So instead we are having a power n in extra with the z power minus n. So we can write this term as a inverse z the power of minus n. Okay, so now it is looking like a general formula. So now we can write it as x of, instead of z, in terms of z we are having a inverse of z. So it is a inverse of z, or that is z by a. And we didn't discuss about ROC, so just consider only, we just concentrate only about the proof for the properties. We'll discuss the ROC later in the forthcoming videos. Okay, and the fourth property is time reversal. So reversal we all know. So if you are having x of n as the input, now we have to do some folding with respect to origin. So now we can write it as x of minus n. Okay, and the formula for this one 1 by z. So here we are having minus n, this will be getting as 1 by z. So now we'll take this minus n as some another dummy variable, that is p, and you can replace this minus n by p. And here too we are it is no use of having minus n over here. We are having only the minus n, but if you can, obviously we have to write it as minus p. So by having minus p is not going to give any sense to the equation, because it is having the dependency on the variable p, it's not on the minus p. So you can write it as p alone, and after that again we have to make it, trying to convert this to a generalized form. So here we are having the variable as independent variable as p. So we have to make the power of z also in the terms of p. So we are writing this z power plus p as z inverse of minus p. So minus 1 into minus p is going to give only p. So we can write it is, we are just trying to convert this step more or less to the in the form of a generalized form. This is what we are trying to get. Okay, so now we can write this as a x of 1 by z. Okay, this is the proof for time reversal. And the fifth one is very important for solving numerical problems, and also most of the times we are expecting this property in 4-mark questions. Okay, so now this is the statement for the differentiation property. N x of n will be, we can write it as minus z into d x of z divided by dz. Okay, now we know the formula for z transform. So now we are going to x of z is the summation of n varies from minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. So now what we are going to do is we are going to differentiate both sides with respect to z. So here we are having x of z. So here we are differentiating with respect to z. So d by dz of x of z and d by dz of the whole entire summation block. Okay, and now we are having x of n and z also here. So and x of n is not having any dependency on the z. So if we are going to differentiate x of n alone with respect to z, it is going to give value as 0. So we can take this as x of n as constant here, and we are going to differentiate z power minus n alone with respect to dz. Okay, and now we can write this by differentiation. We know the formula. So here in the power we are having minus n, so that we are having the minus n over here, and minus n, x of n is already is having, and we can write this z power minus n as minus n minus 1. We know the formula for differentiation. So now again for making by getting this value, we are going to multiply this term by both sides by minus z. So here we are having dx of z by dz. So for getting the for prop statement, we are multiplying by minus z on both sides. So here we are having minus, so minus into minus will get plus, and here we are having z power minus 1. Now we have multiplied with z power plus 1. So minus 1 and plus 1 will become 0. So z power 0 is 1. Right? So n x of n into z power minus n. So now we can say write this as a x of z of n x of n. So this is the proof for differentiation property. And another one is convolution. So basically, if you want to join, or we just want to converge two signals in time domain, we used to represent that as a linear convolution. And for that convolution too, we are having some convolution property in Laplace transform. You might have studied in the previous semesters in Max paper. And now what we are going to relate is, in time domain or in a discrete time domain, what we are doing for convoluting two signals is we are doing a linear convolution. So the same behavior, the same output, the same meaning is going to get converted in the frequency domain. It means in Z transform, if you are going to multiply two signals, Z transformed signal, two signals, and the same thing is going to happen by taking linear convolution in the discrete or time domain. So in time domain we are taking linear convolution. So this symbol is linear convolution. So the same thing for convoluting two signals, we are just multiplying in Z transform. This is what the meaning we are going to convey from this convolution statement. Okay, and this is the proof for convolution statement. And another important theorem is initial value theorem, and this is also, we are aware of this initial and final value theorem. And if you suppose if you are having the Z transform of particular signal, and if you want to know the initial value or the final value of a particular Z formed discrete signal, and that time we can use the initial value theorem. So the initial value theorem is x of 0. So if you want to get the initial value, that is x of 0, and that time we have to apply z as infinity for x of z. So we are having x of z alone in our hand, and if you want to get the initial value x of 0, and we have to use limit as z tends to infinity. This is the initial value theorem. And another one is last one is final value theorem. And again, if you want to know the final value of Z transform, here we are having Z transform alone. Okay, and if you want to get the some value at the n tends to infinity, that time we have to use the formula, that is we have to apply z tends to 1, and with respect to a shift in this value, it is 1 minus z inverse. So this is very known in the time of Laplace transform too. So we are not discussing about the proof over here. Okay, so you just remember the statement of initial and final value theorem. Okay, and so far we have discussed about the mathematical expression for Z transform, and we have related the Z transform with Laplace transform. And now we have discussed about the important properties. We are not discussed about all the properties, but we are just discussed about the few properties. And one more important property is also we have to memorize, or we have to understand, that is a Parseval's theorem. Okay, and you can study that Parseval's theorem by your own. Okay, this is also very important for in exam point of view. So far up to this video, we have discussed about the Z transform and its properties. So in forthcoming videos, we will discuss about the region of convergence and the with the help of numerical problems. Okay, thank you.